traffic, and it was just a matter of how many Manchester United were going to score. And I suppose that's the one criticism you'd have. I said about their attitude. I think that's been really impressive. They started the game really well. They got a couple of goals, but the one thing you would say is that they should have finished them off. They've had enough chances to have scored 3 or 4, then the game would have been over. But a piece of brilliance from Bryn Morris, and they're back in it.
Yeah. Quality, wasn't it? Absolutely quality. Yeah. They looked nervous, like you said, in the first 35 minutes, but after that, the crowd started believing a little bit. When that strike went in, just give him a little bit more confidence. That last 10 minutes were brilliant.
It'd be interesting to see if he does shift it a little bit tactically, because they've really struggled.
Oh, the wing backs, they've been caught out so much. It looks as though like they're trying to put the ball out wide, or let Man United have the ball out wide and congest the middle of the park, but they've been outrun.
Yeah, and it was from that area that the first goal came, wasn't it?
Yeah, Fernandes. I mean, if you look at the way they're set up here, you see him really congested in that middle of the park. When you've got Shaw and when you've got Dalot, who are good on the ball, you can't give him this amount of space. Then you see the runs in behind. He's got all the time in the world to make the decision. Lovely one touch and then back inside. And this is the quality that Fernandes has. He really has that real
great
quality
football,
play.
actually, from Manchester United, isn't it?
And you wanted to look at the...
It's a really good run from Anthony. I mean, we criticise him and say that he should do better at times when he's out wide on the right-hand side, because you know what he's going to do. Having said that, that's a really clever, intelligent run. And the way he picks Fernandes out is very good also. He can easily whip it across the front of the goal there, but he has the vision to pull it back for Fernandes, and that's a magnificent strike. It's about keeping your head down, getting the direction right and the power, and he does all of those things, and it's a great finish, and it was a very good team goal.
We drew the line for you there, because it was really quite tight, and if VAR had been here, that would have been 3 or 4 minutes looking at that, but it was definitely...
Straight without VAR.
It was definitely onside, we think. Mainu, emerging young talent, confident finish.
What a player he is. I mean, off the ball, on the ball, he's got absolutely everything. We highlight in the first clip the space out wide. Just look at the space here. Overlap, Dalot on the other side. You can't give these players this much time and space. And then it's, can he find somewhere? Talked about the edge before the game in Man United State, and it was them who got the goal. Brilliant finish, Alan.
He guides it in really well, doesn't he? He knows exactly where he is. He doesn't have to look up. And it's just about getting the right connection. There's no panic there. Doesn't have a big slog at it. He sort of caresses it in into the corner. And again, it's a really well worked goal from Manchester United. The way they pick their heads up and pick their players out, and as I said, there was no panic, and they were in full control.
Yeah. You thought that. I felt for the crowd, actually, because they all went a bit quiet. It's like, oh, crikey, this is going to be a bit embarrassing here. And there's a brilliant bit we can see here. We'll probably try and get some pictures of you in the second half. There's scaffolding outside someone's house, and they can only see this end. But they've seen 2 United goals. But unfortunately, they've missed Bryn Morris's spectacular effort. So good, in fact, that I think he meant the tiny deflection.
Off Martinez. Talk us through it. You was good at these, weren't you, Alan?
Well, this is probably the only way they're going to score something spectacular. We said about them being direct, and that's what you have to do. If you don't win that first ball, you've got to make sure you win the second ball. They've got bodies in and around it there, and then the touch, and then the wonderful strike, albeit it does take a tiny deflection, doesn't it? But that's clever, because we said they're going to go direct, but you've got to pick the pieces up. If you don't win the flick on, someone else has got to get that ball, and they do, and it takes the little deflection, but it's a great strike. It's a great strike from Bryn Morris.
You need that bit of luck, don't you?
Yeah, that's what the manager said that before the game, didn't he? That if they're going to get something out of this tie, they're going to need a little bit of luck, and they got it there.
Let's be honest, we all wanted a bit of luck, because we want it to be interesting, don't we? We want it to be... actually, I think we've got the shot of the scaffolding. We're just going to show it for you. Why not? Brilliant. There they are. Look, they're absolutely crammed on there, and apparently other scaffolding companies are available. Garnacho got himself a real rollicking from his teammates, didn't he, when he hit the bar?
So he should have, yeah. I mean, if you decide to go for goal like he did, it has to hit the back of the net. But really good play from Man United again. They find themselves in that position, but just have a look at Bruno and Højlund in the middle, and watch Højlund's reaction. Look. And rightly so. He should go absolutely mad at him, because that goes to 3-0, it's game over. And he thinks, no...
Alan Shearer, would you have hit that?
Well, I would have put it in the net. And if you don't like that, you deserve a right telling off. And as I said, the reaction from Hoyland, you can see the two of them in the middle, knock it across the front of the goal, and it's an easy tap in for Bruno or for Hoyland.
We talked about the space they've had down the flanks, Anthony and Garnacho. They've had a kind of lot of space, haven't they? And they've enjoyed that freedom.
They've too much space. Lewis and McLaughlin playing as the wing backs, and then the midfielders are not helping them out quick enough. And like I said on the two previous clips, if you give them time, they will hurt you. This is why they're a Premier League side. Alan's exactly right. I think Anthony's been really good today, exposing that as well, and then the overlaps. And everything they do is coming down that width. And like Alan said before, it should probably be 3-0, but the back in it could have been an opportunity there. And you noticed it as well, Alan.
No, it is that's the... I mean, look at the number of times that we're sort of highlighting them, Garnacho or Anthony, either side, left and right. So it wouldn't surprise me if they went to a 4 at the back just to give them an extra bit of protection in midfield, because McLaughlin and Lewis are just getting outrun at this this time, and certainly outnumbered. And it's sort of chance after chance, and they were hanging on a little bit in that half. But as I said, with the Bryn Morris goal, they've certainly given themselves a really good opportunity. The crowd's back up for it again after being flat for such a long time. But for that, you had to give credit for Man United for the way they kept the crowd quiet and where their attitude was absolutely spot on.